Good afternoon, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 15240 Southeast Main Street here in Portland. We're located up on the rooftop going down through a 4-inch cast iron vent. We're going to check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Water's running. We zeroed out there at the base of the vent stack. Off we go. Looks like we just swapped over there to 4-inch ABS plastic. And there is a clean out in the basement. It's in the closet right next to the bathroom toilet in the basement. It's at the very back of it. The reason I'm not messing with that thing is it's tucked back in there so tightly, and it's surrounded by a whole bunch of other piping. To get those clean out caps off of there, seized on cast iron, you've got to beat on them. I use a 5-pound sledgehammer and a giant pipe wrench, so there's just too much stuff in close proximity that you're going to potentially break. Anyway, it can indeed be done. It's just not something that's practical for today's purposes. Anyway, we did have some standing water under the floor there. We'll see how that looks when the line's drained out. I've got a bathtub running full bore right now, which can exaggerate even 1/4 inch of standing water, which is very minor, into something that looks relatively significant. So we'll see how this looks when it drains out. What I was not seeing there hardly at all is any buildup to speak of. So we just transitioned into 6-inch 3034 PVC. And to be completely honest with you, I'd rather have some standing water in plastic pipe than I would to have a perfectly graded cast iron line. That the smooth texture of plastic mitigates a lot of buildup, especially when you've got standing water in conjunction with it. You take the same belly and put it in cast iron pipe, and I'd be singing a different tune about that. The coupling of standing water, which is going to slow things down to some extent, with rough pipe walls like cast iron has, is not a combo that I like. In plastic pipe, until you get to really significant levels of standing water and for very long lengths of pipe, usually those areas become, or can anyway, become problematic when the line's getting abused on a consistent basis. So anyway, we'll revisit that location on the way out. I haven't seen it drained out yet, but so far it's not looking like something I'm going to recommend you tear the whole basement floor out for, but we shall see. We've hit the main here at 79 feet. We're going to go locate that while the pipe drains. Alright, located the camera head. The line terminates on Southeast 152nd Place. So the line shooting out to the side street directly to the right of this home. Again, that's as you face the front door of this house from Southeast Main. Line is fully drained. We're going to start pulling back in here. Anyway, where the locate comes in out in the road, you know, by the time the line straightens out and starts shooting towards that roadway, looks like it's running pretty darn close to or parallel to the rear fence line on out to the road there. And this is an ideal arrangement. I'm happy you're not going out to Southeast Main. You don't ever want to have to, you know, the plus side in Portland is the city's responsible from the curb out, but it's always ideal when you don't have to. If you ever have to do a repair, don't have to shut down a main artery. All the PVC pipe there looks great. Drains beautifully. Transition joint looks good too. Stringy stuff there at the top of the pipe. You're going to see that a little bit here. Cobwebs, not roots. And this plastic pipe, you see how clean it is. This is how you want your line to look right here. And that's made possible by essentially one living habit, and that is not putting cooking oil and grease down your line. And for a second there, I thought we just went past someone's pearl in their necklace. Anyway, not putting cooking oil and grease down the line does a massive amount to improve flow. After 13 years and about 25,000 sewer scopes, I'm more concerned about thick grease buildup than I am a lot of structural defects and imperfections, like bellies, offset joints, things like that. It's often grease buildup in conjunction with either giant balls of toilet paper and or improper items like wipes, paper towels. They'd often turn a structural issue into something that can actually cause a problem, especially in plastic pipe. So the way that this line is turning here, where you should see probably one more turn as we sweep back in here. Yep, there it is. So what the line is doing here, this is an old cesspool conversion, or most likely it is. The line shoots out the back of the house, and this right here are the set of turns. This is where the line's leaving the back of the home, making the turns to straighten out. One more turn here, and then off you go out to 152nd. That gives you kind of the visual on how that works there. And it does look like you probably have a clean out back. I just noticed a tie in there. It's right here as you round the bend. It's going to be under the deck boards. So anyway, the belly here dissipates off at about 12 feet. So originally I thought this thing shot underneath the basement floor out to main. Does not. It goes out the back. So this is underneath the back decking area. Anyway, so thus far here, the standing water hasn't exceeded an inch. At its worst point there, thus far anyway, we're about 3/4 of an inch of standing water. And the belly here starts at about 8 feet. And it, you know, I'll write it up as to 12 feet. It's hard to tell right where it dissipates because of the turn. Anyway, from about 8 to 12 feet there, you've got, at its worst point, about 3/4 of an inch of standing water. So for reference, I don't even consider repairs, especially on plastic sewer pipes, and especially even more so in 4-inch, which is a larger diameter pipe, until you have it at minimum a 5-foot section of pipe with an inch of water across the entire length of it. And most of those I still don't even recommend repairs on. It has to do with the configuration of the line. The belly is one thing, but it's all the piping in and around it too that makes a difference. There is not even enough buildup in that belly there to recommend $5 in drain cleaning on it. So that's not a belly significant enough, in my opinion, to require repairs. We have good flow to the main lateral. All the pipe we just scoped there is intact and either in good condition or in good condition for its age, i.e. the cast iron. Sewer line is functioning properly at this time.